Today we go into a highly charged press conference that touches on sensitive issues such as Russia's global standing, its strained military ambitions, and the potential future of U.S.-Russia relations under the incoming administration of Donald Trump. By analyzing the dynamics of this interaction, it's possible to extrapolate potential contours of the Trump-Putin relationship once Trump assumes office. Before we get into this, let's get a highlight of the press conference.
President Keir Simmons from NBC News. Two questions in English, if you don't mind. Sorry, Mr. Peskov. The first one is about President-elect Trump. Mr. President, you have failed to reach the objectives of your special military operation. Large numbers of Russians have died, including a general assassinated here in Moscow this week. And the leader of Syria, who you supported, has been overthrown. Mr. President, when you face President-elect Trump, you will be the weaker leader. How do you propose to compromise? What are you going to offer? And my second question, Mr. President, is this. The mother of an American journalist who is missing in Syria, Austin Tice, has written to you and asked for your help to try to find him because she says that you have such connections with the Syrian government and former President Assad. Are you prepared to ask President Assad for information about what happened in Syria to try to find the missing, including this American journalist?
From the outset, the journalist's question highlights one key theme: Russia's weakened global image. By pointing out the setbacks of Russia's military operation, the assassination of a general in Moscow, and the downfall of Syria's leader, a figure closely allied with Moscow, the journalist sets the stage for a discussion on how Putin might approach Trump as a world leader. This framing inherently underscores the perception of Russia's vulnerability, a notion Putin vehemently rejects in his response. Putin's defensive tone suggests a leader keen on projecting strength, despite mounting evidence of geopolitical and military challenges.
What do you please
reiterate the journalist? Where did he go missing? Where was he missing? What happened exactly to him?
So I have a letter here sent to you this week by the mother of an American journalist who is missing in Syria. He's been missing for 12 years. He's called Austin Tice. And in this letter, she is asking for your help to try to find him because she says you have such close connections to the former Syrian government, to President Assad. Will you ask President Assad for information about the missing in Syria and about Austin Tice, this woman's son? She says she's prepared to come to Moscow if it will help to find out anything she can about her son.
His insistence that Russia has grown stronger, economically sovereign, and less dependent on others indicates his strategy to approach Trump from a position of perceived parity, if not outright superiority. For Trump, known for favoring strongman figures and openly admiring Putin's leadership style during his campaign, this projection of strength may resonate. However, the complexity of the U.S.-Russia dynamic will likely challenge this admiration, forcing both leaders to navigate competing national interests and conflicting political narratives. Historically, personal rapport between leaders has played a significant role in shaping bilateral relations. Putin's acknowledgement that he has not spoken to Trump in over 4 years, and his readiness to engage at any time, reveals an openness to re-establishing dialogue. This willingness contrasts sharply with the strained relationship between Putin and Trump's predecessor, Barack Obama, whose administration criticized Russia for its annexation of Crimea and interference in Syria. Trump, for his part, has consistently praised Putin's decisiveness, calling him a strong leader compared to Obama. This mutual respect could lay the groundwork for improved relations, at least initially. Putin's comment That he would raise specific issues with Trump, such as the case of the missing American journalist, reflects his attempt to signal a pragmatic approach. By addressing concerns that resonate with U.S. domestic audiences, Putin may aim to position himself as a cooperative partner in areas where interests align. However, the journalist's pointed phrasing of the question, asking what Putin will offer Trump, hints at the inherent imbalance in the relationship. It raises the question of whether Putin might have to make concessions to secure favorable terms with the new administration, particularly in light of Russia's international challenges. Despite Trump's admiration for Putin, their relationship is unlikely to be without friction. The journalist's question underscores the geopolitical realities that will test this dynamic. Russia's struggles in Syria, its strained economy under Western sanctions, and its contested influence in Eastern Europe. These factors suggest that Trump's approach to Putin will need to balance personal respect with the strategic priorities of the United States. Syria. Putin's failure to secure a clear victory in Syria, highlighted by the journalist, will remain a contentious issue. While Trump's campaign rhetoric suggested a willingness to cooperate with Russia against ISIS, his administration could still face pressure to oppose Russia's broader ambitions in the Middle East, especially from U.S. allies in the region. Ukraine and sanctions. Another potential flashpoint is Ukraine. Trump's stance on Crimea has been ambiguous, with some comments suggesting he might consider recognizing Russia's annexation. However, his administration will face bipartisan resistance in Congress, where anti-Russian sentiment remains strong. Whether Trump lifts or maintains sanctions will be a key indicator of his willingness to accommodate Putin's interests. NATO and Europe. Trump's criticism of NATO as obsolete during his campaign may have emboldened Putin, who views the alliance as a threat to Russia's sphere of influence. However, any perceived weakening of NATO under Trump could spark backlash from European allies, further complicating his relationship with Putin. The journalist's second question about the missing American journalist in Syria adds an emotional dimension to the discussion. Putin's response, that he would inquire into the matter, signals his intention to present himself as a leader capable of humanitarian gestures, even amid strained U.S.-Russia relations. For Trump, this could serve as an early test of Putin's sincerity and willingness to cooperate on issues that matter to the American public. This case, while symbolic, also illustrates the broader complexities of U.S.-Russia interactions in Syria. Any progress on resolving such humanitarian issues could pave the way for deeper cooperation, or, conversely, expose the limits of the two leaders' ability to find common ground. A central theme of the journalist's question is the notion that Putin, facing mounting challenges, may be entering a position of relative weakness compared to Trump. Putin's reaction, rejecting the premise and asserting Russia's growing strength, reveals his sensitivity to such perceptions. His emphasis on Russia's economic sovereignty and resilience reflects a narrative designed to counter Western critiques of Russian decline. For Trump, this dynamic presents both opportunities and risks. On the one hand, Putin's need to project strength may make him more willing to engage in high-profile agreements that bolster his image. On the other hand, it could also make him less willing to concede on issues where he perceives any compromise as a sign of weakness. While the early stages of Trump's presidency are likely to feature overtures of mutual respect, the long-term trajectory of the Trump-Putin relationship will depend on several factors. 1. Shared interests. Areas like counterterrorism and arms control could provide opportunities for cooperation. Trump's pragmatic, deal-making approach may align with Putin's transactional view of diplomacy, enabling agreements on specific issues. 2. Clashing ambitions. However, fundamental differences in national interests, particularly in Europe and the Middle East, are likely to create friction. Trump's domestic critics and international allies will also constrain his ability to align too closely with Putin. 3. Public perception. The media's portrayal of Trump's relationship with Putin, often framed as overly deferential, will remain a challenge for Trump domestically. This scrutiny could force him to adopt a tougher stance to counter allegations of being soft on Russia. Next, unpredictability. Both Trump and Putin are known for their unpredictability, which could either enable surprising breakthroughs or lead to sudden breakdowns in relations. The Trump-Putin relationship, while initially shaped by personal respect and pragmatic overtures, is unlikely to be free of tension. The journalist's pointed questions in the transcript reflect the broader skepticism surrounding this dynamic, highlighting the challenges Putin faces in engaging with a new U.S. administration. For Trump, navigating the complex interplay of personal admiration, geopolitical realities, and domestic pressures will be key to shaping his approach to Russia. Ultimately, while the early months of Trump's presidency may see a thaw in U.S.-Russia relations, the structural and ideological divides between the two countries suggest that any rapprochement will be fragile and subject to significant challenges. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into world news. Thank you for watching. Bye for now, and until next time.